Well, welcome. Good to see everybody. Let's see if this works. Mark Rogers here. It is Monday, December 4th, and we are coming quickly to December 7th later this week. And I'm just checking in with everybody. We got Medicare Advantage plans to review, not necessarily in name or pricing, but we're going to describe a little bit about that. More importantly, prescription drug plans. These things I've been working with folks now for, I don't know, well, for years. And here this last season, it's been interesting to see how much the formularies have changed, how much the pricing has changed. And so when I end up going through that analysis with somebody, and we quickly find out, well, if I continue on the current card right here, it's going to cost me, X amount of dollars. And then we look at another card. Again, I don't represent everything. And so we look at another card even that I don't represent. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, there's $300 savings. This is a big deal. So anyway, that's that. You are welcome to jump over. You can see the QR code in the upper left-hand corner. That's going to be streaming there. That is a 15-minute phone call with me anytime next couple days. I'm opening up my calendar to be able to chat with folks on a quick basis, getting through things because time is of the essence. Also, you're welcome to chat in the chat box there as well. Off to the right, there will be. I'll try to monitor that as we go along as well. And so with that, let's get back into the situation we have today. Let's just quickly go over that right here. And so let me just play around with some of the scrolling things here. It's been a while since I used this particular system here. I wanted to bring this up on deck, and now I'm just trying to figure out how to use it. It's all good stuff. So let's go ahead and hide that for the moment. Here, let's talk about saving on prescription drug plans for a moment, okay? So there is an opportunity to save tremendous dollars on prescription drugs for anybody and everybody for that matter, because there are some what I call no-cost premium plans out there this year, and no one knows about it, or they shouldn't check into it. You don't know about it. So let's talk about a little bit about the process, shall we? So let's go ahead and show our screen here. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go through a couple different notes on this. Let's go ahead and turn this into black. Turn to black so we can make sure we see what we're doing here. So what I say is we start with a list of your RX, and then what happens is put that into, and you can go over onto Medicare.gov. You go over there to Medicare.gov, or I also have a system that I can share the link with as well. Then we are then going to look for plans. This is the skinny on this here. We are going to look for plans that is going to include the card cost. So that's going to be like your premium, right? And then it's going to also include the total cost, okay? The total cost of the RX, all right? And so this is important to see that we want to look at this sort. Whoops, let me get a red here. We are looking to get this sorted. It's what we want to get. We want to sort out the card cost premium plus the total cost of the prescriptions, all right? So if the card is $0 over here, and then there's $100, they say there's $100 a prescription. Well, then now you know the total cost for next year is going to be $100, right? If your card cost is over here $20 and it's $100 over here, well, then it's going to be $120. That's what we want to look for as we look at prescription costs, all right? And let me keep scrolling here a little bit, because this is the time of year we're wrapping up right now AEP, which is going obviously 10/15 through 12 7, right? So we're wrapping this up right now. And this is the time that we're comparing the Part D plans, which if you're not familiar with that, that's your prescription plans. And then we're also comparing Medicare Advantage prescription drug plans, okay? Before I do that, I would like to go through very quickly here, and I'm going to share a very short 101. This little piece right here, I have videos I've put out, but I'm just going to share with you the quick skinny on this. This is critical that a basic Medicare 101, okay? So let's do this differently here, shall we? Does this work? There we go. Sorry for my overlays and all that. It's all good times here. Let's see if we can move that over here like that. All right. Okay, so let's look at this a little carefully here. So basically on your Medicare card, Part A, that's your hospitalization, right? So if you go into the hospital and you check in overnight, that is going to be over it's over a $1,600 deductible. Who knows where that is going, right? That's per stay that you're in the hospital, right? But everything is taken care of very nicely thereafter. And then after that, you're going to have in this Part A, the Part A here, you're also going to have, after the Part A, you're going to have the skilled nursing is sitting here as well. Skilled nursing, and skilled nursing in Part A is going to be taking care of 0 to 20 days. This is original Medicare. You can look it up for yourself in your Medicare book, Medicare and you'll see there that nursing is taking care of 0 to 20 days. Then from days 21 through 100, there are going to be copays, okay? Just want to stop right there for just a second to say if you are on original Medicare, be very, very cognizant of this problem here because this can get very, very expensive. If you're on original Medicare right now, you have the opportunity to get something to take care of this problem because this is a financial problem here when all of a sudden you get kicked out of the hospital and now you have to go to skilled care and you have to now go beyond 20 days. And, I've been around the block for almost 20 years now helping folks, and I've everything. I'll get out of there by the 20th day. Yeah, well, unfortunately, you're not in control. You're not in control when you're hung up inside of a skilled nursing situation. Just not in control. I will say this too is the problem with this situation as well. This is just from a health perspective. Is a healthcare perspective says that oftentimes you get kicked out of the skilled care. You're getting kicked out of the skilled care situation, and now they're going to send you into a custodial care situation. Folks, custodial care is not covered by Medicare. This is very, very important, is that custodial care is where it gets very expensive, all right? This is care at home, care in a facility, long-term care as it's known. That is a real thing, and that is something to make sure you understand because of that issue of transitioning from skilled care to custodial care. All right. There's that Part A in a very, very highlight. Let's quickly jump over here to Part B. Part B. Well, Part B is going to, in fact, here's what I'm going to do here. I've got something special for us here. So let me go ahead and pop that like this. And I'll pop this like this, and I'm going to hit this. Part B, this is going to be a short little video I have basically I'm recording some courses specifically on different topics. So I'm turning out a course for turning 65. I've got a course for Medicare that I go in depth. And so what you're going to see here is a brand new snippet with regards to Part B services. And so I'd like to show that this thing. Okay, now we come to what does Medicare Part B really cover? What does it entail? And this is where you needed to, again, take notes. I've made it simple here where we have really the 3 T's: testings, therapies, and treatments, and doctor visits. This is everything in an outpatient setting. All right. So everybody does normal doctor visits, allows us to go to the normal doctors, allows us to go to the specialists in an outpatient setting for those consultations, the blood panel tests, all the scanning, the mammograms, all the x-rays, all the testings are there. The therapies, physical therapy, your occupational speech therapies as well will be here in an outpatient setting situation. Treatments, cancer treatments, that is going to be in here as well. Also, I've just, I work with a lot of folks, and, recently a good friend of mine, client, is going through macular degeneration, and so shots have to be put in the eyes. Okay, this is going to be done in the doctor office and in a clinic and such. So these treatments are going to be covered under Medicare Part B as well. Now, these video series are not meant to be all-encompassing, so I certainly refer you to the Medicare and U-Book, right? And so you're welcome to go in there and start to thumb through it, and you'll see a lot of, you can jump down on into the Medicare Part B chapter, right? And in looking at the Medicare Part B chapter, you'll see a lot more services, but I hope that this helps you kind of see that the Medicare Part B can be simplified down to everything in an outpatient setting, all right? So stick with us, because the next chapter in this series is going to jump into the costs associated with his outpatient services. And so with that, I plan to see you over there. Well, there we go. There's a little short snippet. I plan to have a few of those all lined up in a course, multiple little chapters, if you will, as they describe Medicare in detail. But that's the Part B services that you're seeing there, Part B services. And so with that, let's move on to sharing the screen here. And with regards to, let's put this right up here like this. Let's do this here. Part B services, why you're going to have a premium. So if you're just new to Medicare, you'll have a premium. Comes out of your Social Security generally. Hasn't been in the past, $140, $180. Now it's going to be going up for, if you have high income, it can be easily over $200 a month. You're paying this directly to Medicare for the Part B. All right. It is, again, outpatient only. We're talking outpatient. I described in that video all the outpatient services. And then you have a deductible. Happens one time in the year. The deductible is going to be it's $240 right now for next year. So $240, that means that you go in and you're doing your first doctor visit, and that first doctor visit under original Medicare, you would have that deductible of $240. Okay. After that, Medicare is going to pay 80% of the bill. All right. So that's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. 80% of the bill, which leaves you technically on the hook for 20%. That's what you're on the hook for. All right. So what happens here, is in this scenario here, why now people go, well, okay, so I don't want to be on the hook for all that money here. And so some people will do a Medicare Advantage plan, prescription drug plan. That's some options that people do there. And then some people do a Medicare supplement plan. All right. So Medicare supplement plan. There are key differences between Medicare supplement plans and Medicare Advantage plans. There is a lot of confusion on that. And sorry for my scribbles not coming on the chart. Let's bring that right over here like that. Okay. And so it's important to understand that there are key differences that you want to look at. Let me just copy down a couple notes that you should be considering. Is, do you want to have a network, right? Network. Do you want to be told where you want to go? This is on a Medicare Advantage plan. There's going to be a network there. Over here on the Med Sup, generally for the Med Sups, there is no network anywhere you want to go in the United States that's taking Medicare, right? And then the other one is, do you want it to be a contract, an annual renewable type of thing, or do you want it to be a forever thing? Okay, so On these over here, you should be evaluating these every 12 months. Okay. And over here, these folks are taking these and they put them on in their budget, and they sit with them for years, taking care of good things. They don't have to worry about things along the way. All right. So hopefully that kind of helps. I've got more details in the course with regards to the difference between Medicare Advantage plans and Medicare supplement plans. As I serve the rural retirees, why I have found, particularly in the rural settings, that the Medicare supplement plans tend to do very well because we don't have a large network. We're out in the country. We don't have a large network, or we don't have a network to begin with, right? And so Medicare supplement plans. But if we're in the urban areas and we have a strong networks, why that's great, because then there's management there, although Medicare supplements may come into play as well. So I hope that helps, giving just a little snippet, a little highlight right now as we speak before December 7th, why you can evaluate that. We can evaluate that in short order, but you could be jumping to another Medicare supplement plan if you so desire to do that. You can go Medicare Advantage to Med Advantage during this time. If you want to go to a Medicare supplement, then there's a little bit more hoops to jump, but some people are making that because of the fact that they want off the Medicare Advantage realm of things. Some people have a Medicare supplement and they want to jump onto a Medicare Advantage. And then some people just don't have anything. They just have straight Medicare and they want to get something. So now's the time to do that as well. All right. Okay. So let's move on here. We talked about just to go over what we talked about here, we talked about the pharmaceutical costs in the green there. We talked about Medicare Advantage plans versus Medicare supplements at a highlight. Lastly, let's talk about surprise healthcare expenses to show. Okay. I'm all about reducing your regrets. I'd like to reduce your surprises later on down the road. Okay. What you're going to see here, I'm going to share with you some very, very unique people are finding surprises on. Okay. So let's get these here. Just take a quick little snippet here, side by side. Let's talk about surprises, shall we? Let's talk about surprises. Let's see here. You don't see that there, so let's move it over. Sorry for the. So there's surprises. All right, surprises. All right, surprise expenses. All right. I'm just gonna make a quick little list. You do the analysis for yourself, or we can do it together. There's something called out of pocket expenses. Out of pocket expenses are on your Medicare Advantage plans. Okay. Advantage plans. All right. This next year, $8,800 is the max, $8,850, I believe it is. And so that's your max out of pocket, $8,000. Now, some of them are coming in at 4, some are coming in at 5, some at 6. The point is do we want to have surprise? Do we want to have exposure to our Medicare Advantage out of pocket, right? That's what we're trying to ask ourselves. Do you have the coin? Do you have the cash? If a bad year comes along and you have to come up with up to that out of pocket expenses. Maybe a rare situation, but you know, that $0 plan may not be zero. It may not be free anymore, right? So sometimes zero doesn't mean free, because the fact that this out of pocket does come into play in certain instances where you have out of pocket that you were surprised by. We're talking about surprises. Here's another surprise. If you're on original Medicare, you decide to say, hey, you know what? I don't have a Medicare Advantage plan. I don't have a Medicare supplement plan. Original Medicare, you go in the hospital and let's say you're in the ER there. Okay. You're saying you're in the ER and you are what we call not admitted. You may be in there for 10 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours, and you are not admitted. All right. That is going to be a 20% bill. Goodness gracious. That is technically an outpatient. Chew on that for a second. If you're on original Medicare, this is a problem, because now you're going to be hit with 20% of that bill because of the fact that you have not been admitted. If you admitted, you got that deductible of the 1640 and change, almost $1,700. But in the situation of being on original Medicare, you are going to have to front that 80% bill. That's a big thing there. Okay. All right. So that's surprise expense number 2. Surprise number 3 is, as we kind of alluded to a little earlier, it's when you are in a skilled care situation. And this is technically after a hospital. Remember, you're in a skilled facility and they say, well, you know what? Medicare says you have to be getting better. You have to be improving. If you are not improving, then you're going to go into a custodial care situation. Custodial care. Okay. Custodial care is care at home, care in a facility, as I mentioned a little earlier. This is where it gets very, very expensive. Okay. So all of a sudden now we're looking at $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $8,000 a month. If you're in the Seattle area, $10,000 a month. Okay. This is a big deal. If you're in the big regions, they're going to be expensive. Okay. Whoopsie. I'm not sharing it here. Let me just kind of pop this like this. I think that should work like that. And let me just get it so you can see this. All right. There's our surprise expenses right there, right? 3 of them so far. Skilled care. It's the last one. Third one, skilled care. This is a big deal because of the fact that we've now flipped from a skilled care situation over to a custodial care situation. Okay. That's where the expenses come up in big time into. All righty. There's 3 retirement retirement healthcare expenses that can be a big, big surprise. And I can tell you, everybody, that I've been doing these healthcare for retirees for close to 20 years. I've been doing Medicare stuff all the way through, and then also certified long-term care specialist. And this year, I recently, after 15, 16 years of doing long-term care plans, started having claims come in from clients. Happy to serve during those times, and that has been an honor for me, but a lot of surprises even for me too. So it's a challenge. So families get surprises when the care starts to get really heavy and Medicare isn't covered. All right. Very good. Let me put up that QR code one more time. If you want to schedule a 15-minute call, you can do that there. Let me see if I have any. Let's see here. Give me a second here. I'm going to go ahead and see. Do we have any questions? Type any questions you got before I sign off. Let me just see if I can throw this through here. Questions, any questions you have, I can answer as we go along. I'm getting used to this kind of a new system here. And you can, that QR code, you can take that phone, you take your phone and just scan that up there, and that will pop up a 15-minute if that's what you want to do, is chat for 15 minutes. Happy to do that. It's looking at my calendar, scheduling time, and we can do that in short order. All right. So that is that a little bit here. And I hope everybody's doing well. We're wrapping this up, and you can, by liking, oh, by the way, if you like and subscribe, that would, you like and subscribe if you're on the YouTube channel or the Facebook channel. Like and subscribe, because I do have some new announcements that are coming out, and I'm ecstatic to be able to share information on other healthcare related topics as we're jumping into retirement. And I've got some new systems going on place. So right now I don't have an email sign up, but I do have Facebook and YouTube. I will constantly drop videos along the way. So like and subscribe the video, and you'll be alerted when new stuff is coming out. I expect new classes that you can jump into anytime when these classes are pre-recorded, so you can jump in anytime along the way and watch. Share with your friends as well. So that is about it. Let me just double check to see if we have any chats going on here. No chats going on. That's fine. And so with that, I wish everybody a happy holidays. It's a lovely time, and I'm always here for questions. And so you can reach to me on the social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Medicare with Mark, also Safe Money Matters. They're on that channels as well. And with that, I will go ahead and sign off. It's been a pleasure. Give me a shout if you have any questions you need to discuss. And so with that, up until December 7th is when we make the choices. And I'll be broadcasting out tomorrow morning again at the same exact time. Until then, be well, be safe, and be warm. And don't have any surprises in your plans.